Greetings from Southern Yankee Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Well, today we are making compost. To start the compost, we're making mulch. This is a prior pile that I stacked up right after the tulip trees and gumballs lost their leaves. Well, the oaks now are losing theirs. And before we get a heavy breeze and blow all this beautiful black gold into the woods, we're going to go ahead and mulch it up and add it to the pile. So we are going to be making this into compost, starting with leaf mulch. So this will be leaf compost for the gardens. We will be using the Husqvarna GT52XLS, and we have a power bagger on this. If you don't have a power bagger and have a regular bagger, that'll work just as fine. This particular one had that when I bought it. This is the third mower I've had with a bagger, and this is my, I don't want to say favorite way, but this is the preferred method for picking leaves up off the lawn. The blades will mulch them up nicely, and the bagger will suck them up and put them in one location. Depending on how thick the leaves are, which our leaves are pretty thick right now, we're going to be making multiple trips back and forth with this. Emptying this bag. We're not going to be mowing the lawn. We're actually going to have this set pretty high so that the only thing we're doing is sucking up leaves, little bits of stems, acorns, and anything else that gets sucked into the bagger. Right here is last year's pile. It's probably hard to see, but right here is last year's pile, and we ran into a problem. You notice that's year-old leaves that haven't broke down. The problem is we didn't turn this. So if you look up here at the top, beautiful compost. Down there at the bottom is nothing but leaves. So we're going to be doing this one different this year. I show you that pile because we picked off that pile for the expanded chicken run / garden for 2022. But for 2023, we're still going to need some compost. And we're going to have plenty of compost. Half the barn is cleaned out right now, and Hun's going to be doing the other half of the barn, so we're going to be adding a lot of material to this on top of the leaves that we're going to be sucking up. Some of the leaves are going to make their way into the herb garden. Instead of tarping it for worms and whatnot, we're going to go ahead and put a bunch of leaves in there to build up the soil. Hopefully get the worm content up in it a bit. Worms like leaves. But this area over here by our hand pump well and sawmill is the future site for our composting efforts. Putting it here because it's wide open, easy access, and it's out of the way but close to the gardens. The sawmill is going to be moving here very soon. But I'm sure you don't want to hear me talking. Oh, one additional thing, if you notice here, there's a little pile of wood shavings. That's from our chickens that we raised in our brooder. That's the nice poopy wood shavings. And the cardboard is what we had underneath it. It's face down right now because, well, it's poopy covered. So if you see that in subsequent shots being buried, we're going to recycle it. We're going to turn it into compost. It's going to break down. There's no staples, no tape, and what it has for ink is absolutely minimum, and realistically we're going to have more chemicals in the ground here anyways from prior owners than that little sheet of cardboard's ever going to put in. So we're going to put that sheet of cardboard in. Side note, we got lots of pine trees. Pine mulch does not like to break down very easily or very good. Pine needles don't shred very well, and they don't pack very well in the bagger either. So even though we will be putting pine needles in here, or pine straw as some of you like to call it, we're going to be doing that minimally. With that, we'll end up having to add lime too at some point because, well, pine straw doesn't break down worth a hoot, and it's very acidic. A lot of resin or pitch in it. We're going to use it anyways. We've got to get it off the lawn, or else we don't have a lawn there. We just have a pine needle pile. We don't like pine needle piles. At least I don't. You might. I don't. It just looks ugly to me. But anyhow, let me shut up and go ahead and get some fuel in the mower. Well, battery's about dead, and I've got all I'm going to get for now. I'll get some more throughout the year, especially once the rest of the leaves fall off the oak trees, as you can see in the back. But I'll show you the pile after I change out the battery. The next step, though, is I need to finish cleaning out the barn. Once the barn's cleaned out, I'm going to top it with this. This is going to help keep the leaves from blowing away. There's a mix of straw and poop and wood chips and all kinds of other stuff in there, so it really helps out with the with keeping the leaves where they're supposed to, so they don't blow away. But let me change out batteries, and we'll be right back. So I switched out cameras so that hopefully the audio is a little better on this one. And if you look behind me, we have a approximately 6-foot tall pile of yard waste and goat droppings. As I said in Jurassic Park, that's one big pile of poop. Anyhow, we're gonna let this set. Expecting rain the day after tomorrow. And finally, we've been very dry. That's why at the beginning of this video I looked like I was dipped in flour. It was not intentional, it's just, it's dusty. I'll be collecting more and throwing it on here as time goes on. But for now, we're going to end this video, and we'll revisit this at a later time when I go to flip it or, you know, do some other stuff around here. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm talking to the 96% of you that haven't subscribed that are watching our videos. Looked at the analytics. Please subscribe. It helps us. It helps us to have YouTube send it out. You know, that whole thing. I'll quit rambling. Bye. Is this an outtake? I don't know if this is an outtake or just me rambling. I'd say let me know in the comments down below, but I don't know how many of you actually watch all the way to the end. Even know that we have outtakes in the end? Probably ought to do a video about that.